Hello my convicts, yes it's me aka the Kappa Convict bringing you guys another video. As you can see, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Revolution or the Nikon Revolution Pro controller, and this is what you get. And basically how you get this is you go onto Google, you just put in Nikon Revolution Pro controller, as you can see there. And it's the top one, and then you click on there, and as you can see, you can download the software for the device. You just click on that, download it, and this is what you end up with, this program here. Now I'm hoping that in the future, or very close to the launch and release, they realize that really this application needs to be inbuilt into the PlayStation 4. So they need to make an app for the PlayStation 4 so we can actually do this through the PlayStation 4, because I really find this is really stupid to do it for the PC, especially if your PC is not in your room. Lucky my PC is next to my PS4, but can you imagine if your PC was upstairs and your PS4 was downstairs? There's no way you could have them together. Then you've got to go upstairs to come back down, to go upstairs, wow, that would be an absolute nightmare. So I really hope that Nikon, if you're watching, make sure you add this application into PS4. That's what they should do. Seeing as it is being given the PS4 yay okay sort of thing, they should really add it into the actual system of the PS4, and they should update and add that on for definite. So let's just talk a little bit about this, and then I'll show you my settings that I'm using at the moment. So when you come on here, as you can see, there's each of these that you can go on. Now as you can see, my controller is glowing red. If it's glowing red, that means that it's in the correct mode, which is mode number 2. So this mode means that I can configure any profiles and it will be assigned, and as you can see, the light up at the top here is indicating it's on the profile, which is the correct profile for me. If you look at the top of the screen, it says Call of Duty, because I just called it Call of Duty. I just thought, just put anything in, I wasn't bothered, and just quickly put Call of Duty in. So that's number 1 in my profile. So you can go up here, you can check out what your control profiles are, and as you can see, it's number 1. There are ones you can download. These ones are downloaded, which is Nikon First Person Shooter, Nikon First Person Shooter Pro, and again it's got Call of Duty at the bottom for number 4. Then you've got the right joystick mapping, triggers, macros, and the settings here that you can add them on or turn them off if you want. There's also my profiles, which is the one I've created, and downloaded profiles. These are the ones that you can physically download from their website. As you can see, there's one here for Street Fighter, there's a neutral one, there's a first person shooting pro one, there's a first person shooter one, and there's an arcade one. And you can click on each one and then download if you wish. And at the bottom there's Nikon Profiles, and these are the ones obviously that I just downloaded at the time because I just wanted the first person shooter ones. I haven't got Street Fighter or anything like that. You can click on here and create a new profile. So you just click there and you can start your own profile like I did there. It just asks you for a name and that's it. And then you can save. Once you've saved all your details, you activate profiles, and it'll activate and it'll assign them to your controller automatically for you. If you want to go backwards and forwards, you just use this little button here. That obviously will make me quit, which I don't want to do. So let's talk a little bit about these ones. So we'll go to the mapping first. Now what we do on here is, as you can see, all the buttons you can assign here, and the shortcuts are on, which is the ones that are on the back. And the macros I've left off because I've not really looked into that. Apparently that helps you do a combination of buttons with one button press. So I'm not too sure what that is. I guess that would be really good for such as like Street Fighter. If you wanted to do your special move, you could just press one button and instead of pressing all 3. So that's kind of weird. And then you can assign your buttons here. You just press on them and you just press what button you want it to be, and that's basically it. Now I've assigned them to the very edge little triggers here, to the sides, not to the back bit, but to the side bit, if you can see that, to the side bit there. I felt comfortable to press it like that than I was to press the back one. on there. So I would definitely recommend using this one instead of this one if you're going to jump, which obviously be flipped side. When you turn the pad over, it'd be this side. So I actually use the right hand side, and then the left hand side I use for reloading, and then the back ones I use for triangle, changing weapons, and melee punching as well on there. And that's how I've done it, because I felt trying to use these to jump and to melee were too difficult. It was pretty annoying. They didn't feel comfortable enough to be able to press them. And the other things on here is the triggers. Now the triggers you can put on the dead zones for the triggers, and you can find out where you want them, which is really cool. That sounds really cool. So you can put down how sensitive you want the triggers to be. So as soon as you're physically pressing, so if you were to move that to be the beginning of the start of the dead zone, then that would instantly, if you accidentally just tapped it, it would probably register that as a button press and make you actually do something. So I'm going to leave it back as it was before, because I think that feels comfortable enough. I don't really tend to use my triggers anyway. I use my buttons, but if you do, then by all means you can do so on there. Now the macros, these are ones where you can go on, you can modify, you can add on, as you can see, define your macro, add a new value. Now I'm not too sure how to use this, so at the moment I'm going to leave this here because I don't really know too much about this. I need to read some information. Unfortunately, there's not much information on the website about anything to do with this or anything else on there, so I found it pretty difficult. And I've been looking on YouTube, but apparently no one's made a video of this either, so that's why I thought I'd be the first in order to do this. So there you go. So there's different profiles. There's profile 1, profile 2, profile 3, profile 4, and general settings. If you go to general settings, you can go here to where it says vibration parameters. You can test, you can make the rumble pretty big to very, very quiet by just moving the sliders up and down. As you can see, it's indicating with the color. You can see here if there's any firmware updates. When you first get the controller, there is an update, so you do need to update it. Just check again now, see if there's any. No, so that has got the latest firmware, but 1.38 is the newest one. So if you have just got the controller and you haven't updated yet, then you do need to do that, because there is a 1.38 update already out for this. The backlight, basically that just controls the light on the front. If I turn it off, as you can see, it's off. Turn it on, and then you can have it slow, you can have medium, and you can have quick. So that's medium, slow, and off, like that. So you can choose your lighting parameters for your controller, which is pretty cool. You can change the color for them as well if you want to do that. So let's just go back. And now go to the right joystick. Now this is the one I'm not sure on. This is the one that is kind of slightly confusing to how it works or what I need it to actually do. But these are what I felt to be the best so far. So if you are playing Call of Duty like I am, then these may work for you as well. These seem to be okay for me. I've actually noticed that when you actually get this controller and you first get it, and even if you leave it in profile 1, which is just the neutral generic one, the control of it is absolutely insanely bad. It doesn't aim very well at all. I've noticed myself running and needing to hit someone in the head, you know, get like a headshot on someone or to hit above a box, and I felt it very, very difficult, like it was jumping from one part to another, or as you were moving along, then it was doing a jump. So I was missing targets all the time and constantly getting killed by people, which what I found pretty dang annoying. So when I put it into profile so I could pick my own, and then I had just been in here, I've been doing it for ages yesterday, just going through different ones to try and find out which one would actually suit me. And these are kind of the ones that have worked. So if you want to take these as a note, and try these out yourself, then by all means feel free to do so. That's 52 for the small, 23 for the medium, and 24 for the big. Now, as you can see here, there's padlocks for each one, and big has got a padlock on. Now you can actually take the padlock off. All you need to do is click on the padlock on any of the others, as you can see here. And what that basically does, it doesn't allow you to touch that specific slider, so you can't physically move it. But the other ones, you can move them as you need to on there. But I'm going to leave it as it is because they kind of are working for me. The radius for the dead zone, again, now the PS4 standard is apparently 5. So that's how big the PS4 is. Apparently the one for Xbox is that. That is the Xbox one, apparently, on the Xbox One. So that's pretty weird. That's pretty big for the Xbox, but I kind of like it around about 10. I think 10 kind of suits me. You just have to play about with it a little bit. Now this is really weird. Now the graph here basically showing you percentages, and then you've got the response curve, and then you've got the joystick travel. So the joystick travel, I assume, is how far in order, how far across you need to push your controller over. So how far you have to move this over before it actually responds, or how far it has to travel over to that side before it starts responding, something like that. And then you get the response curve, which must be to do with the responsiveness of you moving around and then moving the controller and stuff like that. I've been trying it out. I did actually make it one point where all these were over there with the response curve. I made them all in that area, but it was crazy. It just didn't seem right at all. It was just wobbling all over the place. The responsiveness was just absolutely insanely bad. So I ended up changing it back. I did try it over all in Joystick Travel, and again, it just feels really, really weird. It was just jumping from one place to the other. So I've kind of found that from here, having these values, that was the best. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about that, because I've been talking about that far too long. And the last things on here, obviously you can see macros I've left off, vibrations on, backlight is on, and rear shortcuts are the mapping ones. So you need to have that on as well. So there you go, guys. So that's all I can show you for now. I'm going to keep on doing another video, do another update on this once I've actually got more information on the right joystick, especially because that is one area I'm not particularly sure on, and then also the macros as well, because there's not really any information out there. The booklet doesn't actually say anything about it, doesn't give you any information, any instructions on how to do it, which is pretty dang weird. And even Nacon Gaming, as you can see, Nacon Gaming at the bottom, they don't even have any information on the website. It just tells you about the pad and apparently what it does. That's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I just wanted to get it out there because it doesn't actually work straight out of the box. When you get it and try to use it straight out of the box, it doesn't work as it should do. It is very, very weird to control when you actually first use it. So hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. It does really help my channel grow. And I am the Kappa Convict. I'm signing out, guys, and as always, I salute you. See you next time.